The quietest moments often carry the messages that change everything, and this is one of those moments. Do not hurry past these words, because something gentle has already begun moving toward you long before you realized it. While the world continued with its ordinary rhythm, while conversations came and went, while countless distractions asked for your attention, a beautiful thread was being woven without noise, without urgency, without demanding to be noticed. It has been growing stronger with every sunrise, and today you have arrived at a place where you can finally begin to sense it. Don't skip, because what is unfolding now is not about rushing toward an ending, it is about recognizing a beginning that has been patiently waiting for your heart to become still enough to hear it. There is someone whose thoughts have quietly circled back to you more times than you could ever count. Not because they were forced to remember, but because something familiar continues to guide their heart toward your presence. They have tried to explain this feeling to themselves in ordinary ways. They have called it coincidence. They have blamed a memory, a familiar song, an unexpected smile, or a simple passing thought. Yet every explanation seems too small for what they continue to experience. Little by little they are beginning to understand that some connections refuse to disappear simply because time moves forward. And here is what makes this moment different from all the others. Until now, those feelings remained unspoken. They stayed hidden behind ordinary routines, waiting for the right moment to breathe. But something has quietly shifted. A gentle realization has entered your soulmate's heart, and with that realization comes a desire they can no longer ignore. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is calm, clear, and surprisingly steady. They are beginning to feel that leaving certain words unsaid would mean leaving an important chapter unfinished. Perhaps you have wondered whether anyone truly notices the quiet kindness you carry, the patience you show when no one applauds it, or the strength you continue to find even after uncertain days. Those unseen qualities have never been wasted. They have been shaping you into someone whose presence feels comforting without needing to say very much. That quiet light has reached farther than you imagine, and someone has begun to recognize it more deeply than ever before. Stay till the end, because the next part of this journey is not about guessing what will happen. It is about understanding why this message is drawing closer with every passing day. Your soulmate may not yet know the perfect sentence. They may pause before writing. They may erase a few words before trying again. They may wonder whether their heart can truly express everything they have carried for so long. Yet every hesitation is quietly becoming courage. Every unanswered question is slowly turning into clarity. Every silent hope is moving one small step closer to becoming spoken truth. Imagine receiving words that arrive not because they were expected, but because they finally became impossible to keep inside. Those are the kinds of messages that leave a lasting impression. They are not filled with perfect phrases. They are filled with sincerity. And sincerity has a remarkable way of reaching places that polished words never can. Something important is waiting for you, not because the future demands certainty, but because genuine connections often reveal themselves at the exact moment people become ready to receive them. Your story has never been about racing toward an answer. It has always been about growing into someone who can recognize the value of a heartfelt message when it finally arrives. So remain present a little longer. Let your thoughts settle instead of rushing ahead. There are quiet details still hidden beneath the surface, and each one brings you closer to understanding why this surprise message feels different from every expectation you have carried before. In the next part, another piece of this unfolding story will gently come into view, and what seems ordinary today may suddenly reveal a meaning you never noticed until now. Nothing truly meaningful ever arrives by accident, and that is why this next moment deserves your full attention. Somewhere beyond what your eyes can see today, a simple decision is quietly taking shape. It does not begin with grand gestures or impossible promises. It begins with a single thought that refuses to disappear. Your soulmate has reached a point where silence no longer feels as comfortable as it once did. The memories they tried to place neatly behind them have found their way back into the center of their heart, not to disturb them, but to remind them that some connections continue growing even when they are not being spoken about. Don't skip, because the smallest change often becomes the doorway to the greatest surprise. There have been quiet moments when they almost reached out. Their hand paused for a second longer than usual. Their attention lingered on something that reminded them of you. They wondered if the timing was right, then convinced themselves to wait just a little longer. Yet each time they stepped back, the feeling returned even stronger than before. It became less about finding the perfect words and more about realizing that honesty carries its own quiet beauty. That realization is changing everything little by little. You may not notice it today. Life can seem completely ordinary while extraordinary things prepare themselves behind the scenes. That is often how meaningful moments arrive. They do not announce themselves with noise. They approach gently, almost invisibly, until suddenly you recognize that everything has been moving toward this point all along. What once appeared to be random now begins fitting together like pieces of a picture that only becomes clear when viewed from a little farther away. Stay till the end. Because another layer of this story is only beginning to reveal itself. The surprise message is not important simply because of the words it contains. It is important because of the heart that sends it. Every sentence carries the weight of reflection, patience, and genuine feeling. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that waiting forever would leave too many beautiful things unexplored. Instead of wondering what might happen, they are slowly becoming willing to discover what could happen. Think about how often people hide their truest feelings beneath ordinary conversations. They smile when their heart has much more to say. They continue their routines while carrying hopes that remain invisible to everyone around them. Your soulmate has been living through moments exactly like these. On the outside everything appears familiar, but inside something has been quietly awakening. The more they listen to that inner voice, the more impossible it becomes to ignore. Perhaps the most remarkable part is this: the message that is forming is not built from perfection. It is built from authenticity. It does not try to impress. It simply hopes to be understood. And sometimes the simplest words become the ones remembered for years because they arrive with complete sincerity. Something important is waiting for you, not because every question will suddenly have an answer, but because your perspective is about to shift. You may begin noticing little moments differently. Familiar experiences may suddenly carry new meaning. Small coincidences may remind you that life often prepares beautiful chapters quietly before allowing them to unfold in the open. As this story continues, another hidden detail will come into focus. One that explains why this message has taken longer than expected, why the timing matters more than anyone realizes, and why your soulmate now feels closer than ever to taking the step they once believed they could never take. That moment is nearer than it appears, and when the next chapter begins, the quiet anticipation you feel today will finally start revealing its deeper purpose. A quiet turning point has arrived, and it almost hides itself in plain sight. If you only looked at the surface, you might think nothing has changed. Yet beneath the ordinary rhythm of everyday life, a new confidence has begun to replace old hesitation. The difference is subtle, but it is real. Your soulmate is no longer asking themselves whether they should speak. Instead, they are beginning to wonder how they can express what has been resting in their heart for so long. That single shift changes everything. Stay a little longer. Because this is where the story begins to reveal the reason the message feels closer than ever before. There is a beautiful truth about genuine connections. They are rarely built in one dramatic moment. They are shaped through countless quiet reflections that nobody else ever sees. Your soulmate has been collecting those reflections without even realizing it. A familiar place reminded them of you. A meaningful conversation caused them to pause. A peaceful evening brought unexpected clarity. Piece by piece, these ordinary moments formed something extraordinary inside them. What once seemed like scattered thoughts have become one clear direction, and that direction keeps leading back to you. The most surprising part is not that they remember you. It is how naturally those memories continue to appear. They are not forcing them. They are not searching for them. They simply arrive, often at the exact moment when life becomes quiet enough to hear the heart speaking more clearly than the mind. And every time that happens, the feeling grows a little stronger, a little steadier, a little more certain. Don't skip, because something important is waiting for you. There is one realization your soulmate has only recently accepted. They have begun to understand that waiting for the perfect moment can sometimes delay the very happiness they hope to find. Perfection keeps moving farther away, but sincerity is already here. That understanding has become the gentle push they didn't know they needed. Perhaps you have experienced seasons when it felt as though nothing meaningful was changing. Days blended together. Answers seemed distant. You continued moving forward without knowing whether anyone truly saw the quiet strength it took to keep believing in brighter days. Yet even those silent seasons carried purpose. They shaped patience, compassion, and wisdom in ways that could never have happened through hurried moments alone. Sometimes the greatest preparation happens when it feels like nothing is happening at all. Your soulmate has been walking through a similar season. They have learned that feelings become clearer when they are given room to breathe. Instead of rushing toward conclusions, they have allowed themselves to understand what truly matters. And every answer they discover brings them back to one simple thought: some people enter your heart for a reason that cannot be explained by logic alone. Imagine receiving a message that carries more than words. Imagine reading something that reflects genuine gratitude for your presence, even if that gratitude has remained unspoken until now. That is the kind of message slowly taking shape. It does not seek attention through dramatic language. It carries quiet honesty. It speaks with warmth instead of urgency. It arrives not because time demanded it, but because the heart finally became ready to share it. Stay till the end, because another piece has yet to be uncovered. There is still one gentle obstacle standing between your soulmate and the message they hope to send. It is not fear in the ordinary sense. It is the desire to make sure their words truly reflect what they feel. They understand that some messages deserve patience because they are meant to be remembered long after they are read. As this journey continues, you will begin to see why the timing of this surprise is so meaningful. A quiet event is approaching, small enough that most people would overlook it, yet significant enough to inspire the message your soulmate has been carrying within. When that moment arrives, everything that has been slowly unfolding until now will begin fitting together in a way that feels gentle, sincere, and impossible to ignore. There is one final piece that has remained hidden until now, and it is not hidden because it was meant to stay a secret forever. It has simply been waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. That moment is beginning to arrive. Like the first light before sunrise, it does not appear all at once. It grows quietly, gently, almost unnoticed, until suddenly you realize the entire horizon has changed. In the same way, the surprise message you have been sensing is no longer a distant possibility. It is becoming something real, shaped by honesty, patience, and a heart that has finally stopped running from what it truly feels. Your soulmate has reached a place where looking back no longer brings confusion. Instead, it brings understanding. They can now see how every unexpected delay, every unanswered question, and every quiet season gave them something valuable. Those moments taught them what truly matters. They showed them that meaningful connections are not measured by constant conversation but by the quiet peace that remains even when words are absent. That peace has continued to point them toward you. There is something beautiful about a heart that chooses sincerity over certainty. Your soulmate may not know exactly how every future chapter will unfold, but they have discovered that some words deserve to be spoken anyway. They no longer wish to leave appreciation unexpressed or kindness unshared. They have begun preparing themselves for a conversation that feels genuine rather than perfect, and that decision alone has already changed the direction of their journey. Don't skip, because this next realization may stay with you long after these words are gone. Sometimes the greatest surprise is not the message itself. Sometimes it is the person you become while waiting for it. You have grown stronger in quiet ways. You have learned patience when answers were delayed. You have continued showing kindness even when no one seemed to notice. Those unseen moments have become part of your story, and they have quietly prepared your heart to receive something meaningful with gratitude instead of haste. Imagine opening a message and feeling an unexpected sense of familiarity, as though the words were finding a place that had always been waiting for them. That feeling cannot be created through perfect language alone. It comes from authenticity. It comes from someone choosing to be real instead of rehearsed. Your soulmate is discovering that truth one step at a time, and every step brings them closer to sharing what has been resting within them. Stay till the end. Because one final thought deserves to be carried with you. Life often reveals its most meaningful moments after long stretches of ordinary days. We expect extraordinary events to arrive with noise, but they often arrive with quiet confidence instead. A single message can brighten an ordinary afternoon. A few sincere words can become a memory treasured for years. A gentle expression of appreciation can remind two hearts that hope never truly disappeared. It was simply waiting for the right season to bloom. So as you leave this moment, carry peace instead of impatience. Carry quiet expectation instead of worry. Continue walking your path with an open heart, knowing that meaningful things often arrive when they have had enough time to grow into something lasting. And if a surprise message finds its way to you sooner than expected, welcome it with the same sincerity that inspired it. Some of life's most beautiful chapters begin not with loud announcements, but with a few honest words that arrive at exactly the right time, and perhaps that chapter is closer than you think. Just before this journey comes to rest, there is one quiet truth that deserves to remain with you. The most meaningful surprises are rarely the ones people spend their lives trying to predict. They are the ones that arrive naturally, almost unnoticed at first, and then gently transform the way a moment feels forever. That is the spirit of the message you have been hearing about from the very beginning. It has never been about creating excitement for a single instant. It has always been about reminding you that genuine connection grows through sincerity, patience, and quiet hope. As these words reach their final moments, imagine your soulmate taking one more deep breath before deciding that silence has lasted long enough. Not because they suddenly became fearless, but because they realized that honest feelings are worth sharing even when every answer is not yet known. That realization is powerful in its simplicity. It asks for nothing except authenticity, and authenticity has a way of opening doors that hesitation never could. There is another reason this story has unfolded slowly. If everything had been revealed at once, you might have missed the beauty hidden inside the waiting. Every pause carried meaning. Every unanswered question invited reflection. Every gentle reminder encouraged you to look beyond appearances and recognize that some of life's greatest moments begin quietly, long before anyone else notices them. Perhaps, over the coming days, you will find yourself smiling for no obvious reason. A familiar melody may capture your attention. An ordinary evening may suddenly feel a little brighter. A simple conversation may leave you wondering why it feels different. Whether those moments lead directly to a message or simply remind you to stay open to life's possibilities, let them encourage you rather than rush you. Beautiful things often grow in calm places. Something important is waiting for you. Not because the future is written in perfect detail, but because every new day carries opportunities for meaningful conversations, unexpected kindness, and genuine connection. Keep your heart open enough to recognize those moments when they appear. Sometimes the greatest gift is simply being present when life offers something sincere. Don't skip the quiet chapters of your own story. They often become the foundation for the moments you remember most. Continue choosing compassion when it would be easier to become discouraged. Continue choosing hope even when the path ahead is still unfolding. Continue becoming the person whose kindness remains steady regardless of the season. Those choices matter more than you may ever realize. And if one day a heartfelt message does arrive from someone who has been thinking of you, receive it with the same grace that has been growing within you all along. Listen carefully. Read slowly. Let the words settle before you decide what they mean. Some messages are not memorable because they are dramatic. They are memorable because they are genuine. So this chapter closes not with an ending, but with quiet anticipation. Somewhere ahead, another ordinary day is preparing to become unforgettable in its own gentle way. Until that moment arrives, walk forward with peace, carry hope without hurry, and remember that the most beautiful surprises often begin as whispers before they become cherished memories. And sometimes, without realizing it, you are already much closer to that moment than you ever imagined. And now, before these final words fade into silence, let your heart become completely still for one last moment. There is no need to rush ahead. There is no need to search endlessly for signs or perfect timing. Everything that truly belongs in your journey has a gentle way of finding its place. That is the quiet lesson carried through every part of this story. The surprise message has never been about chasing something beyond your reach. It has always been about recognizing that meaningful connections are built one sincere moment at a time. As your soulmate continues walking their own path, something within them feels lighter than it did before. The uncertainty that once filled every quiet pause has slowly been replaced with quiet confidence. They are beginning to understand that the most heartfelt messages are not measured by their length or by how perfectly they are written. They are remembered because they are honest. Even a few genuine words can stay with someone for years when they come from a place of kindness. Take a moment and imagine this scene. An ordinary day unfolds just like countless others. The morning feels familiar. The afternoon passes without anything extraordinary. Then, almost unexpectedly, one small moment asks for your attention. A notification. A conversation. A thoughtful sentence. A message that carries warmth instead of noise. In an instant, what seemed like an ordinary day becomes one you quietly remember for a very long time. Life often changes direction through moments exactly like these, not because they are loud, but because they arrive with perfect sincerity. Stay till the end, because there is one final realization waiting for you. Sometimes we spend so much time wondering when something beautiful will happen that we forget to notice how much beauty is already shaping us while we wait. Every challenge has taught you patience. Every unanswered question has strengthened your understanding. Every hopeful step has quietly prepared your heart for moments that deserve to be treasured instead of hurried. Your soulmate is growing through that same quiet process. They have learned that genuine feelings become stronger when they are cared for with honesty rather than rushed by expectation. They no longer wish to leave meaningful words unspoken simply because they cannot predict every outcome. Instead, they are choosing authenticity. That choice may seem simple, yet it often becomes the beginning of life's most unforgettable conversations. Something important is waiting for you, perhaps not exactly as you imagined, but often life exceeds expectations by arriving in ways that feel more natural than anything we could have planned. Keep welcoming kindness when it appears. Keep appreciating small moments that brighten an ordinary day. Keep believing that sincere connections are still possible, because they often begin with one person choosing courage over silence. As this journey reaches its final page, carry only this peaceful reminder with you: never underestimate the quiet power of hope. Hope is patient without becoming passive. It remains open without demanding certainty. It allows tomorrow to arrive without losing gratitude for today. That quiet hope has carried this story from its very first word, and now it becomes yours to take beyond these pages. Walk forward with confidence, greet each new day with an open heart, and remember that the most meaningful surprises rarely announce themselves in advance. They simply arrive when hearts are ready to receive them. And when your own unexpected moment finally finds you, may it remind you that every quiet step, every season of waiting, and every gentle lesson along the way helped prepare you for a chapter filled with warmth, sincerity, and a connection that feels wonderfully, peacefully real. Even after a beautiful chapter seems complete, there is often one last page that changes how every earlier page is remembered. This is that page. Not because it brings a dramatic ending, but because it gently reveals that the journey was never leading you toward a single message alone. It was leading you toward a deeper understanding of connection itself. The surprise that has been quietly approaching is more than a few carefully chosen words. It is a reflection of everything that has been growing, unnoticed yet unwavering, beneath the surface. There are moments when life asks nothing from you except your presence. No perfect response. No hurried decision. Just the willingness to receive what arrives with an open heart. Your soulmate is discovering this very lesson. They have stopped trying to predict every possibility and have started trusting the quiet honesty that continues guiding their thoughts. Every day they become a little more certain that some feelings deserve to be expressed, not because they are guaranteed to be understood immediately, but because they are genuine. Don't skip. Because this final reflection may become the one you remember most. Think about how many remarkable moments begin as ordinary ones. A simple greeting becomes a meaningful conversation. A passing thought becomes an unforgettable memory. A few sincere words become the beginning of a completely different chapter. Rarely do we recognize those moments while they are happening. Only later do we look back and realize that everything quietly changed right there. Perhaps you have been waiting for life to offer one clear sign that brighter days are still possible. Sometimes that sign does not arrive as a miracle. Sometimes it appears as renewed hope, unexpected encouragement, or a message that reaches you at exactly the moment you needed a reminder that kindness still exists. Those quiet gifts are often more powerful than grand announcements because they stay with the heart long after the moment has passed. Stay till the end. Because something important is waiting for you. As this story settles into silence, remember that your own journey is still unfolding. New conversations are waiting to happen. New memories are waiting to be created. New reasons to smile are quietly making their way toward tomorrow. You do not need to force them to arrive. Continue moving forward with patience, gratitude, and confidence, allowing each day to reveal its own quiet surprises. And if, one day soon, a heartfelt message reaches you from someone who has been carrying thoughts they could no longer keep inside, welcome it with the same warmth that has filled this journey from the beginning. Listen carefully. Appreciate its sincerity. Let it remind you that meaningful connections are built through honesty, understanding, and the courage to speak from the heart. So leave these words with peace instead of questions, with hope instead of hurry, and with quiet anticipation instead of uncertainty. The story may pause here, but your own beautiful chapter continues beyond this moment. Somewhere ahead, an ordinary day is preparing to become unforgettable, and when that gentle surprise finally arrives, you may discover that your heart recognized its approach long before your eyes ever saw it. One last quiet reflection remains, and it is perhaps the most meaningful of them all. If you have stayed through every moment of this journey, then you already know that the greatest gifts are rarely the loudest ones. They arrive softly. They ask for your attention instead of demanding it. They become unforgettable not because they overwhelm the heart, but because they gently awaken it. That is the spirit of the surprise message that has been drawing closer throughout this story. There is a peaceful confidence beginning to settle within your soulmate. They are no longer measuring the distance between yesterday and tomorrow. Instead, they are appreciating the value of today. They have realized that life offers very few perfect moments, but it offers countless genuine ones. And genuine moments are where lasting memories begin. Every quiet reflection, every kind thought, every unspoken hope has slowly become the foundation for words that now feel ready to be shared. Imagine the feeling of opening a message without expectations, only to discover that every sentence carries warmth, gratitude, and honesty. There is no need for elaborate promises. There is no need for dramatic expressions. Sometimes a simple, heartfelt message has the power to brighten an entire season of life. It reminds us that being remembered is a gift. Being appreciated is a blessing. Being understood, even for a moment, can leave a lasting imprint on the heart. Don't skip. Because something important is waiting for you in this final thought. While you have been wondering what tomorrow might bring, tomorrow has quietly been preparing you as well. Every experience has added a little more wisdom. Every challenge has strengthened your patience. Every hopeful decision has shaped the person you are becoming. Those changes are easy to overlook because they happen gradually, yet they are among the most valuable parts of your journey. Your soulmate has been changing too. They have learned to value sincerity over perfection, patience over haste, and meaningful conversation over endless silence. They now understand that the right words do not have to be extraordinary. They simply have to be true. That realization has become the quiet turning point that gives them the confidence to move forward with an open heart. Stay till the end, because this story leaves you with one invitation, not to wait in uncertainty, but to live with quiet hope. Let each day be filled with kindness. Let each conversation carry genuine care. Let every opportunity to encourage someone become part of the legacy you leave behind. Hearts are often touched in ways we never fully see, and even the smallest act of compassion can travel farther than we imagine. As these final words settle into silence, remember this: meaningful connections are not defined by how quickly they appear, but by the sincerity they carry when they do. Continue walking your path with gratitude. Continue welcoming unexpected moments with an open spirit. Continue believing that beautiful conversations are still ahead, because every sunrise brings another chance for life to surprise you in the gentlest way. And if one ordinary day becomes the day that an unexpected message finally reaches you, pause before rushing past it. Read it slowly. Let every sincere word find its place. You may discover that what feels like a simple message is actually the beginning of a chapter filled with warmth, understanding, quiet joy, and the reminder that some of life's most beautiful surprises arrive exactly when the heart is ready to receive them.